everybody. So in this video we are going to cover how to make this absolutely adorable little snake, and the yarn is just so soft. He's so soft. We're going to be doing this with finger knitting. So it's part of our April teen kit, which will be available at all of the branches. You can contact your local branch to arrange pickup for this. And in the kit you're going to have a small ball of yarn and a little packet with some eyes and a piece of red felt. We're going to use that later. You will need a pair of scissors and some glue. And liquid glue works better than like a glue stick or something like that, but any liquid glue would be fine. You could also probably use hot glue, and that would work well. The reason I'm doing a video for this craft is it is a little bit more complicated than some of the other ones I've sent home, but I think once you kind of see it, it really makes sense. So I have a little diagram on the instructions, and just so you're aware, when you get this, you'll have instructions on both sides. But this is the palm of your hand, or the front of your hand, we're going to call it. This is the back. These are fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4, as I have marked on there. If I talk about bringing the yarn over, I'm talking about going here like this. If I talk about going under, I'm talking about going like this. So this would be over, this would be under. If you are, so I'm right-handed and I did the knitting on my left hand. If you're the opposite, just your fingers would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So normally with a lot of finger knitting, you use these fingers, but because we're going to be going to 4 fingers, we're actually going to use the middle 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our yarn. You're going to lay it on the palm of your hand and run between finger 1 and finger 2, and just kind of hold it there with your thumb. You're going to go under and over, under and over, under and over, and under and over. That's the first set. So you're going to be doing more under and over on this one than you are on the other ones. Then this is where your knitting part begins. So you're going to take this loop, you're going to slide it over that loop and your finger and let it go. Take the other loop, slide it over that finger and let it go. At this point, I like to kind of just use my fingers to kind of wiggle them around and tighten it up just a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go over, under, and we can just leave that hang down. We're going to loop over. And I'm going to grab this and tighten a little bit, and we just keep on going. And for the snake I did this about, about 10 to 12 rows, depending on how tight you work. Once you get a little farther in, you can let this drop to the other side, and it's a little bit easier. So we're just going to keep going. And once we get out to about 10 to 12 rows, and you can see a little body is starting to form already. I've not named my snake, so if anyone has name suggestions, you're welcome to turn them in. Let's see what you would like to name the little snake. So I think I'm up to about 4 here. And once you get going, it actually goes pretty fast. You do need to keep your snake and your yarn separate. There we go. And it's just such a delight to work with because it's so soft. Go through. If you slide that one off, just go ahead, slide it right back on, snug up. The other nice thing is that If you don't like your snake, if you don't like the way it's turning out, just slide it off of your fingers. You can completely undo it and start again. And it'll fall right apart for you. And you can start knitting again and do it differently. Or if you're just having fun doing the knitting over and over, you can do that too. That's fine. So, all right. We're gonna call that good. Now, this is where it gets a little trickier. So now we're gonna go from the 2 finger to the 4 finger, which is why we used our middle, so that we can spread out for the heads. Now, if you don't wanna do this, or you're really struggling doing this, you can just do the two row and put the eyes and the tongue on. That's totally fine, totally up to you. If you do want to keep going and go farther, so we're gonna start the way we did before, but instead of coming over, we're gonna go over and like that. So these 2 fingers are gonna have 2 loops. These 2 fingers only have 1 loop. We do that. Again, we can tighten up. Now, and these really work better if you slide them down a little bit. So we're just gonna loop all the way around. So see, we have 2 loops on each one. And we're gonna go over. And we're gonna go over. And over. Over. And this is where you can tighten up if you like. Now for this step, depending on how long you want this part to be, you can do anywhere from 2 to 4. I think this one was 4. I think maybe this time I'll do 3. So we're just gonna go all the way back around again, like so. And again, this is another point. If it's not working out at this point and you're not happy with it, slide it off your fingers, pull it apart, you're good to go. I'll do one more. Under, over, under and over, under, over. Oops. Under. There we go. So we're gonna go over. Over, over, and over. Okay, now we want to start making them go back, and we want to start tapering back in. So this loop is going to go over this finger, just bloop. This one is going to go over this finger, just like that. So, bloop, bloop. Then we do to that style. Snug it up. Do one more. Okay. Now we're going to essentially cast him off completely. So we're going to do it kind of like when we went down. So we're going to flip over. We have the 2 loops there. So I just went from that to that. We're going to pull it over. So we have 1 loop. And then we're going to pull this yarn through to essentially make a knot. And I didn't do quite as many rows on him, I don't think. I guess I came pretty close. So just snip off. You're going to want to leave some, but go ahead, snip it off. And then you're going to take it and you're just going to kind of weave those ends back through and under. Just sort of tuck it in. I did find that this isn't a bad spot to put a little place of glue there. Just kind of tack that in. And you can do the same with this. You can shorten that up and weave it back in and tack that in with glue. Now, we're going to give him some eyes and a little tongue. Glue on there. eyeballs. Tongue. I chose to do a little V into mine. Like so. And you're just going to kind of weave that in under here. Just kind of find like a loop to tuck it under and tuck it in. And then again, you're going to kind of tack that in there with some glue. Glue on there. And just going to kind of stick it under there and kind of adjust the loops. And there you go. Then you just let them dry. And you have yourself a little finger knit snake. So again, these kits are available for teens beginning April 1st. They're available at all the branches countywide. Go ahead and contact your local branch to get a hold of your own kit. And if you make your little snakes, please post them either on our Shawano Library Teens Instagram page or our Shawano Library Teens Facebook page. I would love to see your little snakes. Thank you very much and have a great day.